And so we are going into February now and coming out of January, coming out of the New Year's. Now going into February now, there was a celebration done by the Romans called the Lupercalia. And the Lupercalia was based upon their gods of Pan and Juno. And they also, February is actually named after one of their gods as well. And so this is a time where you're coming out of the winter and you're going toward the spring season. And so they used to have large gatherings of young people, and they would take the name of women, put them in a large container, and the men would choose them and literally have a sexual relationship. So it was based upon this, Cupid concept. The Greek word is eros.
This is modern day Valentine's?
Yeah, so I want to tell you where it comes in now.
Yeah.
The Greek word is eros, erotica.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so erotica is basically sexuality. And so that was the main issue on this occasion. And this is where you get cupids from and hearts and things like that, because this is actually the ceremony of, open sexuality. What happened was they combined this with an individual named Valentine, who in the Roman times, in the 3rd century of the Roman era, he was protecting young people. The Romans said no marriage because we want men to fight strong in battle, so we're not going to let you get married. Valentine, a religious priest, he disagreed with this. They put him in jail. He went against the state. Eventually, they executed him. And on the day of his execution, he wrote a letter to 2 of the young people getting married, and he said, "From your Valentines." So that's where he's Saint Valentine's. So they took the concept of the open sexuality, put the name of a Christian priest on it, so it seems like a holy day, but actually it's the open sexuality of the Lupercalia. And that is the dangerous thing for Muslims and people of conscience to get involved in this, because what happens is pornography, erotica, this overcomes everything else. So it seems like it's innocent. It's like they say, a wolf in sheep's clothing. It seems like it's innocent because Valentine was protecting young people. But the reality is, it is an occasion where more people commit fornication and adultery, where rape happens, unwanted pregnancy. It is actually a dangerous time. And so therefore, we're saying to Muslims, don't play around with the devil. Don't play around with evil things and think that it is sport and play. Because what is happening is that young people are being fooled into focusing their life on their sexuality, as opposed to focusing their life on their education, on their physical fitness, and then grow into their sexuality. This is how societies develop themselves over the centuries. And of course, the last revelation, of the Quran brought us the beautiful example of the husband and the wife and the family, and how people can protect themselves, and how sexuality can actually be a beautiful thing. It can be a halal, permissible thing, and not something wild and uncontrolled. Tell
us now, for the person who's just tuning in, they got their friend and they said, look, man, this Valentine's Day, there's more to it. But you know what? It's in our public schools. It's all over the place. Look, Johnny just wants to tell Susie that she's cute. You know what I mean? Innocent, no. Kids are passing around. What's the big deal?
Well, of course, again, this is the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Wolf in sheep's clothing.
Meaning that it appears to be innocent on the outside.
Yeah.
And, if a boy is passing a comment to a girl or vice versa, there's nothing wrong with that in the essence. The problem is that the socialization, that the society itself teaches people how to take it a step further. And so when they watch the television programs or movies, then they will see how it goes a step further. Even cartoons, the 2 ducks, in the cartoons are falling in love.
Even ducks.
Donald Duck. I mean, everybody's falling in love now.
Yeah.
And so that's erotica. And so the dangerous thing is, it opens up the door, to a bottomless pit. It's a dangerous area because sexuality is a natural thing. And when we look at the Quran, it tells us, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا إِنَّهُ كَانَ فَاحِشَةً وَسَاءَ سَبِيلًا. The Quran, the Last Testament, says, do not come close to fornication and adultery. Now, what Islam is saying about sexuality is very important, because the creator of the heavens and the earth is revealing to people there are certain actions that you shouldn't do. You shouldn't kill, you shouldn't steal, you shouldn't be jealous of your neighbor, you shouldn't be involved in magic and taking of interest and so forth and so on. But when it comes to adultery and fornication, Allah says, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا إِنَّهُ كَانَ فَاحِشَةً وَسَاءَ سَبِيلًا in Surah Al-Isra. So it says, don't come near fornication, don't come near adultery, because it is an abomination and it will destroy everything in the path. So this is a dangerous thing. It doesn't say don't commit adultery. It said don't come near it. Now why is there a difference between killing and adultery? Because killing is not a natural thing. And any human being who sees another person killed, it should be repulsed by that. It's an ugly, detestable thing. But sexuality, that's what our bodies are created for. And so a man is naturally attracted to a woman. A woman is attracted to a man. So that's why Allah said, don't come near it. Because it's something that we want to do. We are built to do that in order for the species, to maintain itself. So therefore, what Islam is saying is that yes, have sexuality, but do it within the confines of marriage. Do it in an organized fashion where the man respects the woman, where the family is set up, where he takes care of his children. That's the way it is. The Lupercalia, the Valentine's erotica concept, is uncontrolled, undisciplined sexuality. And it starts with that little note sent to Jane or sent to Zainab.
That's how it starts off, just the innocent.
That's how it
innocent,
starts.
but then
the pink hijab.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have pink kufis or the pink thobe.
So we don't do
or
none of
whatever
that.
it is. No, we don't get involved at all.